Hey, what's going on, guys? Radio Graffiti here, and today I want to talk to you guys about Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning, Part 1. This is the 7th Mission Impossible movie, and it's still going strong. Usually, at this point in a franchise, you'd feel a huge drop-off point, but I'm proud to say that Dead Reckoning is still a strong installment to the Mission Impossible franchise. I don't think it's as good as Fallout or even Rogue Nation, but it's still really great. Now, I do have some negatives to say about the film. I've seen a lot of people say this is another great installment and that the Mission Impossible movies just keep getting better and better. I don't think that's the case here. As I said, I think Fallout and Rogue Nation are better, but... So here's some of my problems with it. I feel like the villain is very lame. They keep showing the same confusing flashback scene of him. I have no idea what they're even trying to say. They're trying to connect him to Ethan's past, and it just felt like you keep showing the same exact scene over and over. Like, I don't feel anything for it. And a lot of his dialogue was bad. Like, just complete generic evil bad guy dialogue. His history is written. Shall we rewrite yours too? This is the lines I showed in the trailers. And it was cringy then. And it was cringy in the movie. It was just very, very painful dialogue. It wasn't just him, it was a lot of people that were spitting out bad, generic dialogue. And I feel like the movie, it was kind of boring at times. Like, it took a while for it to really get going, and then I was kind of dozing off for, like, the third act. Just feel like a lot of the times it was taking too long to get to what they were trying to say. Like, the pacing just wasn't the best. Like, on rewatch, like, I'm going to be skipping through a lot of scenes because a lot of them just dragged on way too long. We get a lot of scenes with that boring old white guy. I don't know what his name was, but that's the best description I can give of him. And these cop guys, they keep showing up all throughout the movie. And it's like, how do they keep knowing where Ethan Hunt is throughout the entire film? And why do they want him so bad? It's like they have a GPS tracker on him or something, because they continuously find him all throughout the film. And it's like, okay, here we go, we're about to have an action scene. And then those guys pop up, and it's like, oh my god, they're still here? Why are they in the film? They're just taking up so much time. It just feels like they're there for no reason, but they're trying to add some suspense. It was honestly just annoying. I don't like how Rebecca Ferguson gets done so dirty in this movie, because they basically replace her for Hayley Atwell, and that's literally a plot point of the film. For some reason, Gabriel's just like, well, you know, I see through the AI that one of you two will die. And it's like, well, why do we have to go here? I just didn't like how they kind of basically replaced her and made it a whole plot point. And the characters, they're as weak as usual in the Mission Impossible movies. I mean, you know, Luther and Benji, you don't go to Mission Impossible movies for them. You go to see Tom Cruise doing some crazy shit. Let's be honest here. All the Mission Impossible movies are kind of the same as where they have this overcomplicated plot and then have these weak characters. I mean, they serve the movie well, but they're not anything that you're going to really remember or you're going to be excited to see for the next movie. They're just fine characters. They're not, like, strong or anything. And there was some shaky cam during the hallway fight when it was Ethan versus Mantis from the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. I don't know what her actual character's name was, because she didn't really talk throughout the whole film. But besides that, that's pretty much it for my negatives. The rest of it, I mean, amazing action. The train sequence was the best, and I also really like the car chase. Those are the two best scenes in the film, in my opinion. Tom Cruise, he just continues to deliver amazing scenes. Like, the dude is absolutely insane. The fact that a lot of these stunts in here were actually real. Actually, I think pretty much all of them were real. I don't think there was much CGI all throughout the entire film, which is very impressive, especially nowadays in Hollywood movies. And the villain being AI, that was pretty cool and interesting. Something we haven't seen before in the Mission Impossible movies. Usually it's just some buff guy who gets to fight Tom Cruise, and that's about it. So it being AI made it kind of interesting. It was getting kind of annoying, though, hearing people talk about, oh, where's the key? The key. What does it unlock? I mean, they say that all throughout the film. So that got kind of annoying about it. But AI itself was pretty cool, because it's something we haven't seen before, really, in the Mission Impossible movies. Hayley Atwell, a.k.a. Grace, she was very good in the film. Her scenes with Tom Cruise were fantastic. She's as hot as ever. She's just a very great character. You never knew which side she's going to be on. She's constantly betraying Tom Cruise all throughout the film, that sometimes she'll work with him. So she kind of reminded me of like a Catwoman kind of character, where she was like an expert jewel thief or like an expert just burglar, always stealing people's stuff, and you never really know what side she's on. Sort of like an anti-hero sort of thing, I guess. So that made her character pretty interesting. The music was pretty good. It was amazing always hearing the Mission Impossible theme. But the music all throughout was still pretty good. Nothing that'll blow your socks off or anything, but I thought it was silly to mention. There's tons of intense scenes all throughout the film, whether it be the airport, the train sequence, or when they're at the club, or when they're in the car chase. All those scenes, fantastic. That's what you go to Mission Impossible movies for. All the intense, very suspense scenes. They always do those very well because they really take their time with them. But yeah, those are my thoughts on Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. It ends on a pretty exciting note. Ready for Part 2. Like I said, I just think the villain was pretty weak and the dialogue can be kind of at times, but it makes up for it with all the amazing and intense, suspenseful action sequences that occur all throughout the film, which is what we all go through Mission Impossible movies for. We go to them for those scenes, and I'm excited to say that they did deliver. But yeah, what did you guys think about Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1? Are you excited for Part 2, or do you feel like you don't need to see that now because this one ends on more of a satisfying conclusion? Let me know what you think down in the comment section down below. Tom Cruise is an absolute madman. The fact that he did the motorcycle stunt 6 times is just incredible. This dude is an amazing actor. These Mission Impossible movies, they just keep on delivering. I actually like these Mission Impossible movies more than the John Wick films.